everybody! Welcome! I am Monstrous Rage. That's the Fitzster. And we are Fits of Rage. This is a new thing that is happening on Beam. We're going to be doing this every Friday night at 9 p.m. We're a little late today. Give us a little gratis to it being the first episode on Beam tonight. But welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hey, Fitz. What's up?
Yes. What? Nothing?
Does it feel weird not being on that other station?
Which, yeah, it's a little weird. Not quite sure how this is all working out yet, and gonna throw this up on some YT later, maybe. I don't know, that takes forever in a day. I know we did sort of like a soft opening of our channel, but I'm trying to get more people on there so we can get our name on that link. But anyway, yeah, it is a new experience, and we'll see how this rolls.
Well, we usually do a little segment like this at the beginning, folks, and we also, you know, because Fitz is a real friend of mine, and I like to let my friends bitch every once in a while.
Not fake. Real.
Not fake. Real friend. And so every midway point in the podcast is when he does a little bitch session, and this is my opportunity to get myself a liquid refreshment. If some of you want to sit back and listen to him bitch and complain, he is quite entertaining when he starts moaning and groaning. Feel free to do that, but know that Monstrous Rage will not actually be in front of the screen. He will be disappearing while he just rambles on, because it is a rant. All right. Now that I've thrown my partner under the bus, let's bring in our guest. Well, who do we got today, Fitz? Who do we got today?
Asteali.
We have Asteali. Hey, there she is.
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Are you excited to have this over here now instead of somewhere else?
I like turtles. But yeah, no, this community is just so inviting. It's quite, it's kind of like shocking on how like welcoming everyone is here.
Yeah, it's a complete 180 of the scenario that is happening over there. I mean, I have been on Beam now for about a month, just under a month, and I have not come into contact with a single troll or anybody basically negative in the stream. I mean, everybody that has come by has been very friendly, been very supportive, and you know, they actually keep conversations going. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Definitely.
It's pretty cool. We have completely made the jump. Well,
Well,
it's happened. I'm not
anyway.
over there anymore. Yeah, well, no, he's made the jump because I've forced him to, folks.
it's not like I was against it. It just, he does all the work, so. I'm just a pretty face shoving food in my pie hole.
Well, let's dive into what we're talking about tonight. Let's let the pretty face start first. We're referring to Gl1tch, not you. Gl1tch. Junkenstein has been released for Overwatch. And, you know, they did a Summer Olympics sort of venue as well.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of this? Do you think that it adds to the gameplay, or do you feel like it's not necessary, Overwatch is already fun, just add more stuff to the actual game and stop wasting time on these add-ons?
Personally, I do like the change pace of the game. We go from like, what, 3 different types of games, I would think?
Right,
total?
We've got our regular, just 5 versus 5, then you got your competitive, and then you got your brawl.
No. The game types you have escort, right, where you have to capture a point in an escort.
Yeah.
Then you have capture, where it's just 2 capture points, like Anubis and Hanamura.
Yeah.
And then you have King of the Hill, like Ilios and Nepal. So those are the 3 different types of game types. The 3 different play types is what you were referring to.
Going to, yeah.
Yeah, the 3 different game types without the extra brawls, obviously, which they just screw up all the rules for you and everything like they normally do. But as mentioned, Lucio Ball was a different one. Junkrat's Revenge is a different one now as well.
Yeah.
So, that's all. But yes, three different game types as solid like main core right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like it's a nice balance because, you know, the one thing with Overwatch that works with it but also kind of works against it is the fact that Overwatch is a game that you can go in and play a good couple matches, but after a while you've played around on the same kind of game types around the same maps. So you can play like quick, easy if like you don't have a lot of time to do, you know, a full campaign or an actual like full length multiplayer. You can do the Overwatch matches they have on the quick play.
Right.
So, but at the same time, you play about 20, and you're just like, well, I'm not even halfway to the next loot box. I guess I'm gonna go hop off and play something else or go do something else now.
That's exactly how I feel. So what are your thoughts on Junkrat's Junkenstein's Revenge?
I really like it. I like the change of pace. I've always liked the kind of horde mode. I'm not very good at them, but I enjoy them because they're pretty fun because it's just you get your
You just
friends.
like waves after wave of people trying to jump on you.
Yeah, you just
Well, you
have all
see-
your friends, and it's just like you're trying to work together, but sometimes you just fuck up, and you're just like, God damn it! Why? You need to heal me, and it's like I love it. Great.
Yeah,
Well,
the
that's the
limited-
thing.
Limited people is a trick too with that. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
the fact that you have 4 characters that people usually don't play as, you're forced to play those characters. So for me, it forced me to play somebody other than Junkrat, because you guys know how I
Yeah.
love Junkrat.
You like the trash damage.
I do. I like to know that my kill wasn't supposed to be a kill. They just kind of walked into my grenade. But no, I like the way that it's set up in terms of co-op, because I love just games in general. I love co-op campaigns type stuff. I love going into games with friends without another human element trying to kill me. I like that element, and I'm glad that they did it. I think that they should continue to do this. I like that the path that they're going on. You know, for us, Gl1tch, you know, we've done it multiple times where we've jumped into multiplayer Overwatch and played like 6 or 7 rounds, and then been like, okay, we need a break from it. Do 2 or 3 rounds of Junkenstein, and then we're right back into Overwatch again and refresh. So I think it's a good way to break up the game as well, just to give you that breathing space.
Definitely.
Yeah,
What about you, Fitz?
I like the idea, and again, like Asteali said, she likes it because it's a quick thing. Hey, you jump in, quick game, couple of rounds. But yeah, I was feeling the same way, where it's kind of getting repetitive, kind of getting bored. And as you mentioned, Junkenstein's thing gives you a bit of a break from the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And anytime you're playing up against, you know, AI versus humans, it makes you feel better about a game because it makes you look better. But
That play of the game. That's not always a bastion from like
that's
teams.
right. But anyway, yeah, the forcing you to play certain characters adds a bit of an aspect to it. It was interesting to have a different type of thing added to it. I remember when Ana was coming out, and Eichenwald, how to say it properly, came out. They were talking about it being reverse escort, which is same sort of map that they have, you know, capture a point and escort. But people thought that it was going to be escort the battering ram to the thing and then capture. And even just switching the order that happens in, people were getting excited about because they're so stuck in that same rut. Now there's a ton of people that love that rut, and there's a lot of fun you can have in that rut that Overwatch has. You know, the same maps, same game modes over and over and over again. but there's so much variety on the people you get teamed up with, if you're solo queuing or how good the team you go against is, and which characters they choose, changes the characters that you choose later on in the game. So there's still a lot of variety, but it's all within that same rut. And if you just get bored of that grind over and over and over again, like you said, you're like, well, I'm nowhere close to getting my loot box, then that's all there is to it. There's nothing else more. It's just, okay, it's a grind. Go hunt the rats in the woods to get your XP. You have to kill 50 whatevers over in this area. Yippee skippy. That's what it's like. Go play this map over and over and over again.
At the same respect to that is they know that's what it is. They know that's why people keep coming back, because they want to get those skins. They want to get those voices. Well, it's really the skins. Well, most of them you can buy, but some of them are only unlocked on certain events, like what we're having right now with Junkenstein. I still don't have my Junkenstein yet. I need 3,000.
The Halloween loot boxes. You can buy them with actual cash, like real world money.
You can, but it's still randomized.
Yes.
So you could spend $20 on loot boxes and still whip through all of it and don't get Junkenstein.
I get nothing but sprays.
And that's why they do that, so you get more money.
I did that.
It's a money maker, man.
Oh, for sure it is. And they know that. But I think that's part of the draw to doing these events, is that they say, okay, it's not just about the event. We've got certain unique skins that will only be available during the event, and once the event is gone, you can't get it. So I think that's what keeps them coming back. Yeah. For anybody that didn't get them, they're done.
Because you couldn't even buy those loot boxes like you could with the Halloween ones. It was really just like the draw.
Well, I think that they learned from that, though. I think they learned because, even just doing your regular matches, when you level up, you're going to get those Halloween loot boxes. So
yeah, and I like the idea, and they gave more. Obviously the Olympics is about the countries, so there's a lot of flags and flag outfits for their home countries and whatever. But I guess this one gives you more variety. They went with a little spookier route. There's no like fun little costumes. Everybody's got a spooky one, and well, not everyone, but a lot more have like the possessed Farah or the thriller Soldier 76, the jack-o'-lantern headless horseman Reaper that everybody loves, the witch Mercy when she does her little giggle and everybody's just like, oh my god. Yeah. it's silly, but
I like the fact that when you in the air with her, she actually looks like she's flying on her broom when she's coming down. It's actually kind of funny.
I haven't seen that.
I have seen that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. She drifts down.
Awesome, well done, Blizzard. See, and the tombstone Bastion. Yeah, that's a little subtle because he's just gray. And the RIP doesn't show up like right on the front unless he's like running around. So that's a little.
And when I looked at it at first, I was like, "Why is this a skin?" Oh, I get it. Okay, he's a tombstone. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when he gets into gun form, that's what really portrays that tombstone, because it probably pops up in the back.
They should have it sticking up in the back. And then
rest in peace with just shrapnels of gun coming at you.
Yeah.
Get on it, Blizzard. Now.
Gosh, Blizzard.
I think there's too much fire in here because something's beeping.
Yeah, somebody's burning something. I don't know.
All right, guys. We've talked enough about this. But before we switch over, yay or nay? Do you want them to continue doing it?
Yay.
Yeah, I think they should make this a regular play mode. They change up the theme, maybe add more than just one location, or for different types of characters, different types of maps, like they do with the rest of the game.
All right. Well,
wow.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I know. I flabbergasted everybody.
I got nothing. You know why I've got nothing? Because I'm looking at the next topic. You guys know what it is.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about it. So,
What is this?
You know that thing that they called Next? It's not Next, people. It's Switch.
Yes.
And
Well,
it's
Next is
Nintendo.
still a better name.
I agree. I agree.
Well, yeah, and they never stick with their in-house code things. Like the Scorpio is
no.
not going to be Scorpio and all that jazz. You know, Revolution was the Wii. So.
Well, I
whatever.
think the Switch, whether it's Next or Switch, it's frigging epic. I know nothing about the specs of this thing, nothing, and I want it. I want it.
Okay, first off, has nothing to do with specs or anything, but the logo. This for me sums up the subtle brilliance that is Nintendo. Okay, so you can see the two dots obviously match up with where their controllers are, right? The thumbsticks on the controller are. And when their little logo, they show it switching and clicking in, which is reference to the Joy-Cons, which is what they're calling them, taking them out, right?
Yeah.
But also, being Japan, I know this did not go unnoticed, and obviously they knew exactly what they were doing, but the whole yin and yang reference as well of being balanced. And I think that's a good thing about being balanced between home and mobile. I think that's a nod to that as well. And I guarantee you that did not blow by Nintendo, and that wasn't just some coincidence or something I'm reaching for. I guarantee you they knew exactly what they're doing with this. And that, all of those things, the Joy-Con controllers, the positions when it's on the grip thing, the N that it makes if you go up one side to the dot, down to the other, and then up for Nintendo, and the yin yang reference, all of that just compacted into one simple logo is to me just brilliant. And that's part of the reason why I love Nintendo, is those subtle little brilliant things that they do like that. So I'm just happy about that, and that made me happy. Just a little smirk. Just
wow, you really looked at that in detail, sir.
I honestly, I didn't even. It ran into my head. I was like, holy shit, it does all those things all at once. That's freaking amazing. Like, those guys are great. They are great at what they do. Yeah, they've had a few hiccups. But as a company, I mean, they've been in business since the 1800s. They know what they're doing. They know how to handle things. So they have. That's
just a weird statement to make. They've been around since the 1800s, so they know a thing or two.
They do.
I love it.
They absolutely have.
No, they had started as a toy company and moved on to this.
So, but I love what they showed us. I'm waiting for, what is it, January 12th? For
their official release of not the release of the system, but showing off the specs, showing off what's going to be coming.
Because they said that it's not going to support external memory like a hard drive, which is interesting. But they did say you can put SD cards in. Now SD cards have gotten very big in memory.
Yeah.
But it also kind of makes you wonder about the limitation of games. But
well, my real question though that I want to bring up is, okay, if I'm gaming in my room and it's showing the commercial where he's out on a public bench and he's at a park and he's playing the same game there. How is that going to work? Like, I'm sure they're going to tell us, but is this going to be bouncing off Nintendo networks off of other Switch consoles, or is this going to be a wireless thing? Like what happens with Dead Zones? Does your game just die out? Do you could be at a boss fight and then all of a sudden,
no.
Why is my screen black?
That's the thing. That's the thing. It did not show a multiplayer game out like that. It only showed the single player when he was by himself. And as far as the memory goes, them being on cartridges doesn't require as much memory as it does on the CD, because the CD really does just load onto the system, and that takes it all up. And then when the CD goes in, it unlocks and lets you access the storage on the thing. With the cartridge, it all stays on the cartridge. So people are freaking out about this memory, and it's not really going to be that big of a deal.
Well, it's not so much the memory that I'm thinking about, it's the networking. How is it going to be networked together?
This is what I'm getting at, is the fact that, yes, Nintendo had a patent about beaming between units and like chaining. So that might be how it works. But two, notice he was only playing a single player game. We do see a multiplayer basketball game with 4 players, but it's with 2 switches next to each other. So it's a 2-player on one system and a 2-player on the other, and they're probably just beaming to each other. It might just be NFC, right? Like the Amiibos do and whatever, and some phones and whatnot. So just being close to each other, and that enables it to talk to each other and send the information that way. And then the only other multiplayer game we see, which is the one that's most interesting to me, is the little, as it's been deemed on the internet, hipster party on top of the rooftop. That girl was playing Mario. Now we see the guy playing Legend of Zelda earlier, Wind of the Wild or whatever it's called, right? Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild, whatever. Wind Walker. Of
you're pissing off a lot of Zelda fans, sir. That's what you're doing.
I know. Anyway, yes, Breath of the Wild, and he had him pull it out, and the instant he pulled it out, it was on the screen. So she's at home playing Mario by herself, the new Mario that shows us it is a new Mario, and then she lifts it up and takes it to the party. There's some multiplayer aspect because it was same screen, 2 different controllers. Here, friend at the rooftop party, have the other Joy-Con.
But I think that's going to be
players as well. So
I think that's going to be something similar to the current Mario games, where you can play with other people, but you got to be at the same location. There's no online to that. She literally has to be working on the same screen as whoever is playing with her. So.
But I'm just happy that they're doing that, and it showed the 2-player for the new Mario.
Yeah, for sure. Think of Mario Kart. It's going to be awesome.
I don't think anything is big with that networking. It just keeps it all locally stored, and then whenever you put it in the dock, it syncs back up with everything and gets everything that needs to be online updated. Yeah, I don't think you can play I know you're not going to play Overwatch on it, but you can't play something like Overwatch, which is online specific, or like Battlefront or anything on there. I don't think that's a possibility, mobility-wise, and that's why they didn't show it. They just showed them playing Zelda, and then the basketball game next to each other, next to another Switch, and then...
That's very true.
One on the same screen. So.
Yeah, that's very true. They didn't really show the aspect of multiplayer other than the people being right there physically. So I didn't even think about that.
Another a thing that they could have possibly doing when it comes to how the Switches are connecting to each other. So the Nintendo also has their 3DS and their DS systems and everything else like that, which with the newer ones, since the 3DS and all that came out, they introduced the Spot Pass.
Yep.
So you basically have that on, and it pings off of each other from another DS, and you gather their information. And you can not even have any internet, but as long as someone else has a DS and they're also walking around near you, it catches that information and it transfers it between those 2 devices or whatever devices are near.
Right.
So I wonder if they took what they did with the 3DS and all that and kind of just expanded upon it for the Switch. Thus how it would explain how they did the basketball multiplayer that way.
And they did say they're going to live side by side, the Switch and the 3DS. So
yeah.
And there was also talk, and again, this is rumor mill, I believe, but there was talk that Nintendo was going to set up something like what they did before with Nintendo Club. And what this is going to be is if you sign up to Nintendo Club, you would be basically a hub for other Switch devices that are moving around freely. So what they would do to give you incentive to have your system on as a hub is you would be rewarded with this kind of virtual currency that has no actual physical denomination, but it can be used to unlock DLC to games or, buy an actual indie title for nothing, basically the cost of running your system, having it up while you're not playing it.
Hey everyone, look who just hosted Monster!
Like early patent releases and all that jazz.
Right. Lady Hollow, thank you for the raid. The host.
Oh no!
Hello, everybody.
Hello. This is gonna have to behave now.
You don't have to behave, sir. Never have to behave. Welcome, guys. This is a Fitz of Rage. Friday nights. We do this every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and DeFitster, you see him over there. And we usually have one of the members of Miracle Link joining us. Today it is Gl1tch, aka Asteali. So, sit tight and enjoy the conversation. Join in too, folks. Feel free to spread the word. Right now we are doing a little thing called Nintendo Switch Talk. Anybody a fan? Nintendo Switch?
Everybody's doing this. I'm a fan. I like the markers for 1, 2, 3, and 4 as well on the grip controller, which means all grip controllers can be used.
Attention!
People can have
New
them,
rage
not
recruit
just
reporting
one
for duty,
per system.
monster.
Yay! Thanks, Stampede. And I'm wondering if they sync up with the pro controllers, like maybe have 2 pros and 2 grips, or if it's going to be like it is now, where you have one of the grips and then you take it over to your friend's house, just sync it up, and it's good to go. I want to know all these things.
Yep. And that's going to come out in January. They'll give all the specs and what the interior of the system is. But for me, I don't give a shit. Don't care. I want it now.
The C buttons on the left there, the camera.
Don't
buttons.
care.
What's that square thing?
It could tickle my left toe. I don't care. I want it.
I want this Nintendo Switch. As soon as they announced it and their commercial was really well done. The one thing I am kind of worried about, though, and this is something that Dell kind of brought up to me, was they showed Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
But Bethesda has not said that they were going to port Skyrim to the Switch. So it's kind of weird, because as soon as I saw that, I was like, holy crap, Nintendo's actually gonna port more games now. They're gonna have people, they're gonna open up and say, yeah, come on, we'll start putting in more titles besides our own. We'll start, working with other companies and expanding upon all that, because that's what a lot of people wanted with Nintendo. Besides just the Nintendo brand, they wanted,
Well, they're very guarded. They're very guarded with their products.
And it's a good reason. The Nintendo line has been a family-orientated company, and it makes sense.
Well, let's be honest. Nintendo's what saved the gaming industry. If Nintendo didn't come in, we wouldn't be having conversations like this right now. Absolutely. Or we would, but it'd be completely different. There'd be completely new technology going a completely different way. Games just wouldn't be a thing. Because I remember back then, when Atari almost killed the world for gaming, it was like a good 5 years that nobody talked about it. It was dead. And then Nintendo popped in and changed everything. So,
yeah. But here's the thing: is back to the Skyrim thing. Yes, Nintendo said they're going to port more people. Yes, they have a larger list than they did for the Wii U, and people for the Wii U bailed out early. But that's because it was very complicated to code for that. Where so far, all we've heard is that it's easy to program for the now we call Switch, right?
Yeah.
Next.
And next Switch, that thing. It is the Switch. Nintendo has called it such, and I will call it such from now on. But
I agree with Gl1tch, though. Next is better.
I agree. I liked Revolution better than Wii as well, but whatever. The thing is, though, is they could not have put Skyrim in their commercial without permission.
Mm-hmm.
So Bethesda was like, okay, we'll let you put it on there. Now, why would they do that? If they were going to say, no, we're not doing it. Ha 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 ha.
Well, they have talked about a lot of indie developers jumping on board with Nintendo's new system. And that to me is a really smart move, because Nintendo really pushed away from that in their Wii generation and Wii U generation. One, it wasn't making them money. They did have some indie developers in there, but it was like really far out there, $2, $3 games that nobody gave a shit about.
No regional on the Switch either. So Japanese games, all those people who used to have to special order Japanese games over the internet or through some cool game store that they know of that's not a big name game store, like they will now be able to just do it for themselves. They can buy the Japanese games. They can buy European release only, Australian release only, which I don't know why. Those are usually more censored than American release only. But those huge anime fanboys that love the Japanese games that had to do it very confusingly beforehand can now do, because of region locking.
I was gonna say, the region locking is what blocked a lot of people. So you had to get like a foreign console to be able to play the foreign games.
On my PS2, there was something that you could do.
You would link up. You would
Yeah,
basically set the system to default and have your region as Japan, and then it would unlock that region for you to get everything. But having that in place is just stupid.
Without this being region locked, you can just buy the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be, at least another niche market, because all those people who are huge fans of that couldn't get this without modifying or doing some ridiculous procedure to get those Japanese games playable for them, can now just buy them. Because I'm pretty sure it's not just the U.S. that has anime fanboys who love buying Japanese things.
It's a huge following. I mean,
just love this.
Our group, like our age group, because we're gonna kind of date me and Fitz right now, but we're old fuckers, people. We're old fuckers, and anime wasn't a thing when we were kids. It really, I don't know about you, Fitz, but for me, I think I was like 17, maybe somewhere around there when it started to trickle in.
Mine's a little different because I was in Japan when I was like 3, so
yeah, okay, so Fitz can't really defend my points at all. Shit.
Yeah, I grew up on Voltron. I literally, because
we had Astro Boy and stuff like that back in the day, but it just wasn't considered anime back then for the North America area.
I told that to my dad, and my dad was like, "No, it's American." I was like, "Oh, jeez." Okay, I'm sorry.
America.
Yeah. No, we had like 3 channels. One was like the Armed Forces Network, which is everywhere that the military is in the U.S., and it's awful. Then there was a news station in Japan, and it wasn't like CNN, but most of the stuff they talked about was news. And then there was like the kids show, right? And that was the one I got to watch, and it was all like cartoons and stuff. And because Americans didn't know any better back then, they thought all cartoons were for kids. And I remember seeing some really weird things, like a dead guy who was brought back to life by giant space, like roly-poly bugs that had giant tentacles and lifted them. I'm starting to, because this is not a kid's show. I mean, there is blood splattering. Everybody knows what anime is now. Back then, they're like, oh, it's a cartoon. Put it on the kids' show. But because we're also in Japan, didn't get any real translations either. So I had no idea what anybody was saying ever. But I loved watching Voltron. So, because
Steelheart. Excuse me, Steelheart. You're exactly right with that. There's a lot of mundane stuff out there these days. Even the past 10 years, it's just been garbage. And I think that's what's drawing people towards anime. And there's an actual story, even though some of the stories are really way out there. They actually cover social situations, social questions that need to be answered. Whereas these little stupid cartoons are just, he built a sandcastle. Let's take this shovel and let's destroy it.
Yeah,
because it's just stupid.
They are.
But yeah, I agree with that 100%. People have definitely gone the way of anime because it's just more entertaining and it doesn't really dumb down the audience.
Yeah, it's better stories. A lot of people can actually even connect more with the characters because of a lot of the moral quests they have to do. So, like their dilemmas that they have to deal with. And I grew up pretty much watching anime. I was exposed to it thanks to my older cousins who were just like 100% into it.
You have to watch this. Watch it.
So I grew up watching, Cowboy Bebop, Inuyasha, and all that, and I felt it was more entertaining than me watching like Dexter or what do you call it? Johnny Bravo, and I had more fun watching those because it didn't feel
stupid.
Like I felt like I could understand it, and it didn't tell me, it didn't like dumb it down or anything.
Dexter was a genius, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
Stupid.
Okay, we're definitely getting off topic, but I'm gonna say one thing before we switch back into it. See how I did that? So, is it just me, or are we kind of teaching the public how to kill people? Because there's a lot of shows on television right now, and over the past 8 years, that really are showing people how to kind of get away with doing the deed.
What's
going on, people? I'm a lunatic.
Sex.
You guys shouldn't be. All right. That's my rant. But it's not the only rant.
Oh.
We're going to do a little segment here, folks. This happens at the middle of every podcast. Every podcast. Keep in mind, every podcast. Hey, Fitz, you ready?
Never.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fitz Rant.
Alright guys, this isn't a terrible rant. I'm not going to get all up in arms like I have in our past streams, but I'm missing off the screen. That's the rant. That is the rant. It is just me on the side there and no live video feed. Thanks a lot, Monster. But anyway, continuing on. Oh, there we go. Let's try and fix this one. Yeah, come on, you can do it. I have faith. Look at that. Look at that lovely blanket over the thing. Isn't that beautiful, folks? Anyway, I don't care. We all know it's green screen. What in the world is going on? I can't even tell which side is what. Woo! So we'll just leave that there. I don't know what's going on. He's messing with it. But all the blood was rushing to my head. That's my rant. Anyway, the Recore game that came out just recently, it was nice because they gave it a lesser price than I guess regular games that have been coming out now. It was $10 cheaper than normal. And not only that, but they also, at least on Xbox, gave a 30-minute free trial. I can just fix that. That's just annoying. Whatever. Deal with it, people.
Oh, this rant is epic, people. It's epic.
The 30-minute trial was nice because it gives you an idea of what the game's going to be like. Now, I don't know why other games aren't doing that instead of building up some super hype engine for it. And yeah, there's a lot of coverage for Recore, but I think they felt like people needed to get their hands on it. And it was sort of like a beta without the glitches. So I really like that idea. And I think more games should do that. And them knowing that it's a single player, which again is a nice thing that's coming back. More games are giving you a single player option. Then I think, again, more people need to follow that sort of mindset. Like, hey, look, here, try it out for a bit so you don't have to waste money on it if you don't like it. Now, yeah, that's nicer to the public. It's I guess, possibly a worse business model because you can be like, yeah, no, screw that, and not buy it where in the first place you would have, and then you found out you didn't like it. But that, to me, builds customer base, builds that trust in that company. But as far as Recore, the game itself goes, it still reminded me of the old school Game Boy and his blob. And I mentioned that earlier as well. You gave the blob a jelly bean, it changed into whatever you needed, like Tangerine turned it into a trampoline to make bigger jumps. Licorice turned them into a ladder so you could get to higher platforms. Same sort of concept with Recore. Oh, I need to go along this track, use my spider core. You know, I need somebody to help me in the fight, use the dog. You know, it's the same concept, just rehashed. And yeah, the action is faster, and of course it's prettier, but I'm not sure I don't know yet if I'm going to buy it or not. I did the 30-minute thing, and that was pretty much just enough to get the tutorial monologue out of the way. Which, if you've ever played it and you know what I'm talking about, you go out, you get the things, you come back to your ship. That's pretty much it in the very beginning. But now there's the other thing I want to talk about is Sombra. Now everybody's been talking about Sombra. Everybody's been talking about Sombra forever. Right? And this alternate reality game, if you guys don't know what that is, it's when a character breaks the fourth wall and has like a puzzle or something for you to solve. And those are ARGs. Well, this Sombra one's been going on for months now, literally. And it's coming to a conclusion. Now, my favorite part was that this one website that it led to had a countdown, and everybody's like, oh, it's almost at 100%, we're gonna get her, and nothing happened. And I thought that was hilarious. I thought Blizzard trolled everybody, and it was great. Now, I don't know if they intentionally did that or if they found another glitch and weren't ready to release Sombra yet or not, but I thought that was hysterical because there's so many, even big gaming streamers that were so psyched about it and doing live streams about the countdown coming to 100 and being the release, and then nothing happening. It was greatness on my end. I cracked up.
Stupid Overwatch.
I was laughing so hard at those people who had those streams going, waiting for that percentage to hit 100% just to get another message, and they're like, damn it. And that message, of course, was still coded, and it had to go through like 4 or 5 different decodings, one of which included the Mayan calendar. There's Morse code that was involved. It was hilarious. So I enjoyed that a lot, and plugging it back into 3 different websites that are fictional websites but actually exist. They're websites for the Overwatch universe. But now it's getting to the point where we're actually just getting direct messages from Sombra, instead of having to go through all this encryption and everything. We got to that last level, and now we're just getting messages. So it really does seem like she's going to be coming out. The only date that's been mentioned is going to be this coming Tuesday. So that'll be interesting to see if she actually comes out this Tuesday, if they troll everybody again. But yeah, that's what this was about, was having a character that's known to be coming out and pushing it back for so long. To me, is almost as bad as when they have release dates for games and they're like, just kidding, it's almost here. Wait, no, it's not. We're gonna delay it another game. Oh, you pre-ordered it? Sorry, you're screwed. You gave $5 to your local game store to get it pre-ordered, and it's not coming out for another year. Oh, you moved? Sorry, there goes your money. That's happened to me. I'm not kidding. That sucked. It's just $5, but it's still annoying as hell. And that, like Final Fantasy 15, we're like, oh, guess what? Here it is, pre-ordered, yay! No, it's not gonna come out again. It's not gonna come out again. Oh my god. So anyway, the Sombra thing was hilarious, but it also, I can see how irritating it was, and it reminded me of all those times people push games back. They say, here it is, ready to go, and fuck you. So, yeah. That's that. I'm done. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I can't wait until next week, people. Can't wait until next week. He has to come up with things every week. I force this on him. I'm like, think of what you got to say, man. Come up with what you got to bitch about. Do it.
It was just like, we tried to change it to just have my own personal little side topic, which, gives me more time to talk about stuff or whatever. And they're like, no, bitch about it.
Yeah,
fuck.
Bitch.
And I got to find stuff I'm angry about all the time.
It's perfect, guys, because every week you can come back and we can be like, what's he gonna be somberly pissed off about today? All right, guys,
Thanks.
We are gonna move on to our next topic. This one, we dived into this a little bit today.
I want the Switch.
That's not the right one. Let's get rid of.
Switch.
You want the Switch?
Switch,
I want the Switch too. The Switch is definitely a buy. It's not a question of buy. It's buy.
For the longest time, I told you guys I'm buying that next.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the next topic here. Where is my material?
We're
Where
really
is it?
well organized here, and when I say
Hashtag
we,
professionals.
when I say we, I mean the guy in charge who has all the files in it.
Damn it, wrong way. The mirror throws me off.
All right, guys, as you can see, no segue. Titanfall 2
Robots in disguise.
came out today. There is a campaign involved in this one.
Single
not like
player
the first
mode?
one. Single player campaign. It's not long. What I've been told is you can get through it within 5 hours, 6 hours, and you're done. They say that it is very high action oriented when you're playing through that time. So even though it's a shorter campaign, a lot of people have been talking about it. It's fantastic. I've only just started playing it within, I guess, the past hour before we went live today. Dove into a bit of the campaign. We did a little bit of multiplayer. I'm going to throw this one to Gl1tch first. What did you think? What did you think when we played today?
Well, I thought it was a horrible idea that you just threw us into multiplayer. I literally did not know how I was doing. But
What does this button do?
It was really fun. The different loadouts that you can do, like the weapons and all that, were really fascinating. My favorite so far is the star, the little ninja star.
Yep.
Like, that thing, literally, like, you throw it out and it like explodes and it shoots out sparks and fire and everything else
It's
like
so
that.
pretty.
You can also kill yourself with it. I don't recommend stepping in your own fire star.
Yeah,
I
she
did
blew
that.
up.
Don't step in your own shit. Got it.
I did that and I died. It was horrible, and yeah. So it's super interesting, and this is from someone who really, I played a little bit of Titanfall, but I was not really into it when the Xbox One came out and everything else like that. They were like Titanfall, and I was like, no, that looks like I'm gonna get sick while I play it. So I was really wary. I didn't. I finally did play it with Dell, and I enjoyed it. And thought it was fascinating. When they dropped the trailer for this, I like the fact that they decided to give the Titans, a personality. Because before, I just assumed that they were just
they were
robots.
just like empty shells. They were.
But now it shows you, it's like, it in the
You
campaign.
talk to it.
Yeah, in the campaign, I'm not gonna spoil it, but in the campaign, you actually see that it's not just a machine.
Yeah.
So it's
got artificial intelligence. Is what it's got.
It feels sentient more than just
stand there and shoot at moving objects.
Yeah, and
Like,
then sometimes talk and tell you that you have like a 50% of blowing yourself up. 70 now because you have 5 grenades.
Do you know what the rules are, though? You know what the rules are?
What are the rules?
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Oh my god. So.
Well, I will say
I personally
that with Titanfall, the first one, I'm right there with you, Gl1tch. Them melding the campaign in with the multiplayer made no sense whatsoever. If your team was meant to continue the story by winning and then your side lost, but for some strange reason you won and you keep going on to the next bet, it just completely disconnected me from the game, and I played it for maybe a month and I was done. Because it seemed so repetitive, same thing over and over again, and it just got really, really stale. I was concerned about that happening with Titanfall 2. I was kind of on the fence on whether I was going to pick it up or not, and I'm kind of glad I picked it up. When we went into the multiplayer, as much as we only played a small piece of it, the mechanics of getting around the levels I thought was really well done. The addition to the grappling hook now, when we were doing the capture the flag, I had guys chasing after me when I had the flag on me, and that grappling hook was a savior 9 times out of 10, because I would be wall running, they would be trying to shoot me off the wall, but that grappling hook gives you extra speed, so I would be on the wall running, shoot my grappling hook across the map, and it would just pull me away from them. And I thought that was genius, the way that they designed that. The Titans, they're the same. They drop down from the sky, you get inside them, and you shoot shit.
There's 6 different Titans, though.
They're,
They do new
it's
things.
it's
There's
the
a
same.
There's a fire one. There's a sniper one. There's a ninja one.
The one I used, I can't remember the name of it, but it was one of the skinnier ones, and instead,
Firefly.
no, I can't remember.
Serenity.
It might.
Serenity now.
I thought it was funny.
It was pretty funny. So the one I was using, it was kind of interesting. Like, it threw me off because I was used to like how the other, like the original Titan worked in the
Slow
first
and
one.
clunky.
Well, not only slow and clunky, but they
Throw
had
up your
like
shield.
the slim
The vortex thing.
But yeah, they did have the
But they
different
changed
mechs.
that. When with the different mechs and everything else like that, I was trying to pull up a shield and realized that the mech that I was in didn't have that. He had a snare. He had a jump where he'd fly up and he'd stay in the air for a certain amount of time. He had rockets. And then I was just like, I had to like re-figure out how to play.
And when you got your flight core, you became Farah and rained justice from above.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did.
Well, what I meant to say by this though is it's the same thing. Like there was Titans in the first one. It's Titans in the second one. Sure, there's upgrades to the Titans, but the gameplay is essentially the same. You have a pilot, you have a Titan, you're going against another team. Done deal.
You have cards in this one like you did in the first one?
Not that we see.
I didn't see any.
Cards.
Remember those?
Yeah.
The cards, yeah.
I didn't see any cards. It's like basic, like you get like currency with it, and then after a certain amount of currency, you can unlock more of the upgrades you have.
Just like Call of Duty.
And if you die, you lose your currency. And I did see something though. You can use your grappling hook on other pilots.
Yes, you can.
Yes. That's,
you can.
Oh my god, that's
Like
really epic.
pull a scorpion. Get over here. Anyway.
I had a pilot hook me. Oh, and let me tell you this, folks. If you get hooked by a pilot with a grappling hook, you can escape. Use your grappling hook on something, and it'll pull you free. Because I did it. So yeah, you can escape that clutch if you're thinking fast enough. If you're not thinking fast enough, you're dead.
If you hear "get over here," you're like, "Shit, Spidey, out of here."
No, if you hear "get over here," the shit should be I'm playing the wrong game.
Yeah. This doesn't look like Titanfall.
What did I cross over?
I will say though, guys, my first impressions of Titanfall 2 is buy it. That's my first impression. I've only put in, like I said, about an hour and a half of game, and I want to go back into this. Like once we're done here, I have company over for the weekend, but I kind of want to let them watch a movie so I can jump back into Titanfall. But yeah, I'm a fan of it. What do you guys think?
I mean, my recommendation is if you play this one and you genuinely did enjoy it, you will enjoy the second one. You will have fun. You will enjoy the fact that they did improve the Titans, the gameplay, and actually, put a story in instead of just using the shit out of all of us. But honestly, it's like if you did enjoy it, yeah, it's worth it.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I can agree. Enjoy something, it's worth it. Definitely good words of advice. But I haven't played it. I've only seen videos. It looks interesting. Kind of burned, although it was many moons from the first one.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the first one when I did have friends playing with me. And the constant thing with me. Oh yeah, I get it. We'll play online. Never happens. All my friends are flay. All of them. So, I'm still a little weary about this one. I do find it interesting that they made a wider variety of mech. They did have 3 different ones in the first one. Light, medium, and heavy. But, there's like these cores that change up. It's played like if you use Ion, you have your laser core and just pull a Tony Stark and use your chest proton blast everybody to Kingdom Come. The then there's the Pharaoh wannabe that you've played. That flies up in the air, rains rockets down.
Yeah.
Justice reigns from above. So
Yeah.
there's sniper rifles.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they changed it up. That they didn't just make light, medium, and heavy. That they actually did say, okay, ones don't have shields, but they are incredibly more maneuverable, and how these cores are giving them special abilities and things. Like you said, as a pilot, you have throwing stars now. It's a little interest to it. The grappling hook being able to pull other pilots as well is an interesting thing. I like the additions that they made, the changes that they made. One, although the campaign in this one is super short, I'm glad they did it. I've heard from other people that it does make it.
We're having a little Skype issue right now.
You get a better feel.
Yeah, it seems like Skype is having some issues.
But it's like the game itself a little more, I guess, intense, or you have more toward if you go through the campaign before you go multiplayer. So cool. And of course, upgrading and everything is always fun, just to test a mode out and see what's what. So I'm interested, but I'm still kind of burnt from the first one, and I don't have anybody to play with, and I don't want to play with the Titanfall people who really love the first one and are just jerks now. So I this map, everybody must die. And it's like,
I will say this before we move on to our last thing, is that don't let the first Titanfall jade you into not buying the second one. Okay. I don't like Titanfall. I do like Titanfall 2. So give it a chance, people. Maybe you got a friend that has it, borrow it from them. Maybe you can get it on sale, pick it up. But I think it's definitely worth your time. If you like shooter games, you'll have fun with this. You'll have fun with this game. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. All right, let's move on to the last one. This one's gonna be a quick one. It's gonna be a real quick one, guys. What's the next game you're excited to pick up? What's I don't need a list. Just shoot out the next game. What's the next game that you want in your inventory? Glitch, go.
Titanfall.
Shit, I don't know. Oh man, there's kind of a lot for me. So okay, it sounds really dumb, but I really won't get No Man's Sky, even though it's been literally just
shit on.
It fell from grace so hard.
Never thought it was with grace. I never did. I called this flop from the get-go.
So my whole thing with it was just there was some things that were a little like they were said, but then they were said that it's not true, and they just kept going back and forth between like what was actual factual information and what was kind of just like a rumor.
Lies.
But when it did come out, and everyone was on Twitch, everyone was on YouTube and everything, and they were showing the game off and all that, and it's just like, for me, I like games like that. It like makes the inner pack rat in me super happy. I like survival games in general as well. I like the concept of it, all that, and I look forward to it. I was like super happy. Like I told Elle that I wanted a PS4 because I wanted the game, and he kept telling me, no, you're gonna get it on PC. And then all the stuff that happened, the backlash from the player base, it was
bad.
Yeah, their pedophile suit on them because in like the UK.
Oh, yeah. There's full on investigation going on now for fraud.
Which I mean, it's unfortunate because I feel like all you have to do is just be honest with the game. But I still personally seeing what they offered and seeing gameplay, because that's all I wait for is gameplay. I don't even believe the whole they showcase it at like E3 or something, like do some kind of showcase or trailers, I am 100% like, I don't really believe the whole thing. Even if you say it's an engine, I kind of like, I'm iffy. So when I was actually seeing the gameplay through other mediums, I said, yeah, that's a game that I enjoy. You know, it was unfortunate to see it literally get bad reviews so bad on Steam that it's like,
Well, I got my money back. I got my money back. I mean, I bought it and I was like, nope. I mean, I didn't even touch it. I had it on PlayStation 4, and I got it on Steam because I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this game. This game's gonna be fantastic, and I can play two different ways. I can play one way on Steam. I can play another way on PlayStation 4. It'll be a whole structure set up on my channel. And then Steam released it. And then it was bug after 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 bug. And not just bug, but game breaking. You spent 16 hours and gone. So
yeah.
When I heard all the problems, I didn't even touch it. I just said, give me my money back. I don't want this shit. It happened.
Yeah. No, believe it or not, I do. I know one. No, man.
Monster, you were one of those that was saying, oh, I'm going to be one of those few. Because I was like, nobody's going to want this. It's going to be a flash in the pan. And it's going to go the way of the dinosaurs, except for a few diehard fanboys who are just like, you know, maybe a crazy completionist or something. You know, just a small amount of people are going to want this game. And you said you were going to be one of those people. And you got your money back. And now Asteali's like, oh, I'm going to do it. I love games like that. Oh, my God. And I'm going to wait. I want to wait and see if you're going to be like, yeah. Or is it too late to get my money back?
No, I'm so weird when it comes to just...
Well, just leave it at that. You're just weird.
Yeah. I'm just weird. I told Del, like, the reason why I haven't gotten it, because Del's like, fuck no, I'm not getting it.
Don't make me watch you stream it. Don't make me watch you stream it.
For the people watching, let them know who Del is.
Del is my husband, who...
Because you reference him a lot tonight, and these people may not know who he is, so...
Can I help you, sir?
Is Del here?
Hi.
Is Del here?
Yeah, he just walked out.
We love you, Del.
I heard my name. What?
We love you.
So Del is my husband. He is also a gamer. So there's that. And literally, we kind of just have a lot of gaming discussions and stuff like that. So when I told him that I still wanted No Man's Sky, he looked at me. He's like, I am not dropping money on that game.
I thought he was gonna say I want a divorce.
Like it's just like, he goes, no. I think the thing that would him actually saying that he would want to divorce me is if I like legitly looked him in the eye with all seriousness and say that his Xbox One S is inferior to the PS4.
That's not true.
I know it's not, but like, I'm like 100% like, I believe it kind of thing, and no matter what he says or what he throws out, I'm gonna be like, no, it sucks.
So if anybody was curious as to where the fire came from, right up there, that's where it came from. She starts the fire.
We didn't start the fire.
She did.
Anyway. We didn't light it, but we're trying to fight it. Okay. I can't sing. Thanks, Billy Joel, for that one.
Well, now that we know Gl1tch wants No Man's Sky, Fitz, what do you want?
Nintendo Switch.
That's your next purchase? That's your next...
No, it may not be my next purchase.
Something...
Maybe Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2.
Possibly Record because it's cheaper. And it was interesting enough. I can see myself using that.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, I can see myself playing that game.
The dungeons are...
I still play Fable 2, guys. I love that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fable?
Yeah, I've
you
just,
hipster.
Well, I beat it again, and now I'm starting another one. beating it again. I love that game. It's a good game, Fable 2. Not as good as I think Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, but anyway, that's another old game. Yeah, love that game too. No, I might be getting Titanfall 2. Based off of what you said, not sure. Still a little.
Watch, man. We'll come in and watch me play it a little bit and make your decision then. Because
Okay.
I'll if there's something you want to see, I can pop it up and you can see it.
All right. So that one might be my next purchase. But as far as actually like game purchases or in-game purchases, whatever, I just got the new character for Battleborn. I still play that one too. I enjoy that game. I don't know what people are on about. I know the whole Overwatch Battleborn thing, but they're not the same game. And I really
no, they're not. No, for me, I would like.
Launch time.
That's exactly what is. That's what killed it. That's the only thing that killed that game.
Because it's
launching
still funny.
so close.
They came out with Kid Orion or Kid, I don't know. But yeah, brand new character. I played him once. And he makes little arcade sounds, and when he dies, it says "insert coin." Hilarious. I love it. It's awesome. He's a support character, so he's a healer. Oh, so you might like him.
I might.
Yeah, he's fun to play. Shoots rockets, heals. But that was my last purchase. Was a skin for him. But as far as new purchases, yeah, maybe Titanfall 2, possibly Recore. And then I'm saving. I've been saving or putting money aside for what was the NX and is now the Switch, because that is a definite buy.
Oh, for sure it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
And then Mario Kart for that.
So I kind of did think of another game that I could get besides No Man's Sky, since you guys seem to like that doesn't count.
Totally shit on your dreams.
Just like no, doesn't count. So another game that I'm wanting to get, and I actually seriously cannot believe, and this ties into Nintendo. I can't believe that Nintendo ported this, but there's a game called Corpse Party that I am infatuated with. I love this game, even though it's weird. No, not like that. But
Corpse, I don't know.
I just picture like a whole bunch of zombies standing in a room just going, punch.
Yeah.
Okay, so Corpse Party is.
It's all like Corpse Bride meets Mario Party.
Glitch is like, will you two shut up? Let me say it. Sorry, Glitch. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I had just found out.
So they're all standing around.
I had just found out that they were gonna port it to the Nintendo 3, the 3DS and all that, and I got super excited. It released on the 25th. No, yeah, 25th, I think.
Definitely the 25th.
The 25th of October. So I really want the game.
But you can only get it on 3DS. You can't get it on Wii U.
I don't think so. But it's a horror game. It's very gory. It's
yeah, that's weird for Nintendo to okay that one.
Resident Evil. What was it?
Okay.
No More Heroes. No More Heroes 2. There's cussing and blood everywhere. That game was hilarious. What was that black and white one that was really cool? It was on Wii. It was all black and white, very stylized, like Sin City style, and then just red splattered. Anybody in chat, let me know. But it was a fun game. Yeah, I played that game. That was very gory as well.
Was it heavy metal characters that were in it?
I don't remember. There's a big dude you could throw people in dumpsters or like slam them up against spikes on the walls.
And it was 2D
trains.
2D side-scrolling sort of adventure.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Oh, okay.
This was completely 3D, very stylized, black and white, like the Sin City covers to the movies. Red blood. But yeah, you could throw people in front of subway trains that were coming by. There were spikes on the walls that you could slam people up against, or throw them in a dumpster with, hit them with a baseball bat.
That's just daily life, people.
That was on Nintendo. Again, that was that, and then No More Heroes, and even what was that shooting one they came out with? I don't even remember, but it was. You could walk around with a gun and it still had blood. So Nintendo tried to step it up for a bit with the Wii.
Nintendo goes from being really family friendly to
gore.
Hey everybody, welcome to Leisure Suit 14.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh my god, no!
I would totally buy that on Nintendo. It would be hilarious.
Today we meet Princess Peach.
Yeah.
All right. My title, guys, is Dishonored 2. That's the next one that I'm actually going to be picking up.
That game. Yeah.
So that is within a couple of weeks. We're going to be diving into that on cast. But yeah,
looks great.
I'm looking forward to it. But I'm not going to long wind this, folks. I'm not going to long wind this. Dishonored 2. That's what I'm getting.
Shut up. Too long.
Well, guys, I'm gonna cut it here because we have gone like an hour and a half, and I think we're gonna have to partake on this little luxury item next week. Unless people want to see it, but I think we should wait because we have been doing this for a while. Cliffhanger, it was Arcade Block. We were going to unbox it, but we are running over time, folks. So we're going to finish off now. Before we go, though, folks, I do want to take this time to thank Gl1tch for joining us today. And Gl1tch, I know you do streaming. You're part of the team. Why don't you tell everybody where you can be found? We'll make sure things are linked in chat for you as well. Tell the people who you are, what you do, where they can find you.
Alrighty, so hello guys, my name is Asteali, also known as Gl1tch, and like Monster here, I play a variety of different video games. Now, I'm not very good, I'm worse at racing games, those are not the games I like playing, but I sit down and I play video games, and sometimes I do creative things. I like to make graphics for friends, and slowly but surely I'm going to be opening up to doing free graphics to starting streamers to help them out and get them started on here on Beam. I'm kind of funny about it because I am teaching myself how to do all this, and I'm still kind of like really new to it, so I'm 100% scrub with all this. But I played PC games, Xbox, Wii U. I play everything from MMOs to, first-person shooters to Skyrim, because Special Edition came out, and it's my love right now. You can find me on beam.pro/Asteali, and you can find me on Twitter as Asteali was taken because I waited too long to take my name on Twitter, and someone in Brazil has it now.
Oh, somebody has Asteali in Brazil. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah. That means I have to put Asteali is taken.
Yeah, because that is wrong now.
Yeah, Asteali was taken.
Was taken. Damn it! 3 times, people. 3.
You tagged me in Twitter. How do you not know it?
I do all the time too. We had this conversation before we went live, folks, and the conversation was this Halloween craze with everybody adding stuff to their names. It's throwing Monster off.
It's only the temporary one, not your full username.
This is the first time you've seen a pic of my collection of games. It's not my collection, Del. Not my collection.
That's too small to be his collection.
Yeah, that's a chump's collection, not mine.
God.
All right. Fitz,
yes.
Do tell us. What else do we do, sir? What else do we do?
Play with ourselves?
Well, you might.
Oh.
Whoa, personal information, folks. Whoa.
Single player games, folks. Grab that joystick and run with it. Single player. No, we have a YouTube channel as well. Like I said, we did sort of like a soft open, if anybody in retail knows what that is. See what it's like, see what you need to fix, see what you need to do. That was a little bit ago. There's some pretty awful videos on there. If you guys want to check that out, see what we started with. Hopefully we're improving and see where we go from there. And check us out. To YouTube, just look up Fitz of Rage Gaming. We need to get 100 subscribers so we can just have youtube.com/Fitz of Rage. But that would help. You don't even have to watch the videos. Just subscribe. Let us get the name. Be friendly. Be hopeful. And then you can just tag us and watch videos like this, hopefully better ones as the time goes on. Because if we just stand still, there's something wrong. But yeah, go check us out. There's our intro videos. Get to know me and Monster a little better, and then see where we came from and watch us progress and where we're going.
Damn you, bot. Damn you. Guys, yeah, the link is below in my profile. Just look for YouTube link, click on it, you're good to go. The slow clap is real. The slow clap is real. Guys, and you know who I am. I am Monsters Rage, and you are here on Monsters Rage Gaming. We do this every Friday night. It is going to be here on Beam, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and Fitz will be here weekly. We will have one member of Miracle Link joining us. And in the future, we are going to have other streamers that want to partake in this little experiment as a guest on our weekly podcast. But guys, for now, I am Monstrous Rage. That's the Fitster, joined with Gl1tch. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye!
Happy Halloween!
Bye!